Lee. I graduated from York. I did my honors in computer science in 2006, and then I went to McGill to do a postgraduate diploma in finance. I've been working with TELUS for a couple of years now. I'm a product manager. I manage end-to-end mobile browsing. So if you have a TELUS phone, you browse the internet. That's my group, and I manage the cloud services partnerships between TELUS and some of the emerging cloud services vendors like Microsoft, Google, Apple, the regular usual suspects. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Hussein. I graduated, I think in 95 or 96, it's rather far back, I don't recall it, and I did economics. I have always been working in IT. I didn't go into economics. I found it easier for me to enter IT field, so that's what I did. I worked previously at Bell Canada in the design field, network design, and now I work for TD Bank in the design field and consultation for IT. I specialize in the wholesale side, which is the trading side of the bank.
So my name is Hanya Abdulrazik, and I graduated in 2006 from the computer science program. I did an internship in 2005 with IBM, and it was actually a co-op, so it was just supposed to be 4 months, and it actually got extended to 8 months, and then after that I did a student on call for another 8 months before I graduated and was offered a full-time position. So I've been doing that ever since. I just recently switched my team within IBM. It's in the same department, but I'm now working on the Rational Team Concert product, which is a collaborative suite that's supposed to help software developers work together more efficiently.
My name is Eugene Spivak. I'm in a company providing technology and management consulting services to various clients. So in past, I got a chance to pretty much work on every role that exists out there in IT within various industries, telecom, banking, insurance, and so on.
Well, this is always a trick question, right? How you land a role, because it draws upon a bunch of these different skills, all the on-campus jobs that you do while you're a student at York, all the small jobs that you do essentially all across your life. It's your ultimate goal, your ultimate career draws upon each and every aspect of your academic and professional experience. So it's not like one thing would lead you into what you want to be. It's a continuous improvement process where you're just continuously you're looking for new jobs, you're doing different stuff, you're doing internships, you're doing co-ops, you're doing a bunch of things, and you learn different skills from all of this. You build your knowledge base, and then you start applying for what you think you really like. So that's how you do. I did a bunch of jobs on campus. I was a computer lab TA for the computer science and engineering department. I was a webmaster for the sport.yorku.ca, the York Sport and Recreation Department. So you have to be constantly engaged in your undergraduate term to learn different jobs, learn different fields, really.
Mm-hmm. And Ali, how did you land your job at TELUS? Was it something, did you have a connection there? Did you apply online?
No, well, in all honesty, you apply for like hundreds of jobs online, and then you get one of them. So that's how it works. I applied to jobs online, and I was doing it when I was not even in Canada. And I applied for a business analyst position essentially at TELUS, and they were looking for someone who understood mobile web pages. I had experience as a webmaster at York University, so that sort of gave me some idea of what a mobile web page could look like. So that's how I essentially started.
Great, thank you. Jose?
In my case, I just applied to the company. For instance, Bell Canada, I went to the website, I sent my resume, and the hiring manager happened to be hiring at that time in reality, and he called me in. Same thing with.
Make it sound so easy.
Well, you need in general luck, and like anything else. And the other case with TD Bank, I think a recruiter called me. That was the first time I ever worked with a recruiter, and the guy had a connection, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you. Eugene?
And for me, the entry path into the information technology happened from the quality assurance field. Because quality assurance does give a wide perspective, wide rather than deep, to business functionality, to business rules, to technology aspects. After that, it was development / solution architect positions, and after that, technical analysis and consulting, which is pretty much business analyst, security, all the other roles within IT. And then after each role is known, then project coordination and project and program management following that.
I would like to take the lead on this. So guys, first off, networking is key. And you got to network with your colleagues, your peers, and everyone that you see around you. You never know who's going to end up at Apple. So you got to be networking with people. You got to be nice to them. York, this is
Are you sure?
no, that's the truth. So York is an excellent university. It gets you lots and lots of exposure. When I was at York, I had a chance to enroll in some exchange program or something funky they had. I don't remember what it's called. It's something the Faculty of Science and Engineering offers. It's a couple of months. They send you to Germany. They send you to Greece. They send you some places in Europe, and you go study there. You take some courses there. There are research courses, database courses, and all kinds of stuff there. So that's like excellent exposure. You go out in the world, you go see different cultures, you see different people. It gives you people exposure. It gives you essentially all kinds of new experience that you had never even had thought of. So you got to be talking to people. You got to be participating in student clubs, like the stuff that Tulan was talking about. You got to join the student council. You got to join student clubs. You got to network. You got to talk to as much people as you can, because that will give you the ability to essentially communicate and express yourself well to other people. So when you're in an interview situation, you'll be able to tell the person what he's asking, really, as opposed to just blabber about what you've been up to.
Okay, great. That's a good point. Anybody else?
Yeah, another thought out loud is we all have 24 hours per day. In other words, there is a saying, same wind blows on us all. So it's how much more efficient we are as compared to, let's say, to another developer somewhere in Middle East or in India, where rates are extremely competitive from the business perspective. What do we do here? How do we leverage our local presence in North America to make sure that we are competitive, and that we grow even more competitive as we grow throughout our careers? You'll find that the reality that about 90% of recruiters call about 10% of candidates. So you do need to plan your growth starting from early positions, thinking 3 to 5 years down the road when you will have these different more senior roles to play. During this time, probably one of the better advice I have received when I was sitting in your chairs was to make sure that you don't go deep, but you go wide. So being a generalist has paid off so much for me, at least in my career, that you do know 80-20 rule. If not, do look it up and attempt to apply it to pretty much everything that you see in your life, whether it's knowledge or any other experiences. And you'll be very successful and more effective and efficient than other guys who are not sitting in this room today.
It's good. Don't go deep, go wide.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Hossein, any thoughts on what they can be acquiring knowledge or skills while they're at university that might help them succeed in a career in your field?
Well, it's only a suggestion. I'm assuming since most of you guys are technical here, just asking yourself, how many of you guys do take non-technical courses? Or, it's good. I want to tell you this much. No matter where you go, you work with people. You develop technology for people, technology solution for people. So there's always someone at the other end who's a person. So bottom line is you need to be able to communicate effectively what you want to be done. No matter how good you are in your field, you need to do that. And it's really hard. It's really, really challenging to do that. And as you progress in a company or in an organization, the likelihood that someone will come and tap you on the shoulder saying, listen, what you said last night wasn't really nice in that meeting, will be very small, because the expectation is that you have developed. So in other words, you need to have awareness about your behavior, you need to have awareness about your speech, you need to have awareness when and what you say, to whom you say that. It's very, very important. So if you think that writing effective English is secondary, I would tell you it's 100% your primary objective to have that. So take a course in English literature. It will help you. It will. You can always take a course in Cisco networking, but it's much longer. It takes much longer for you to develop your skills in English language or in effective writing, because simply this is not something you practice every day. So if you can take that, do that for yourself. It will help you in anything that you do in the future. You're writing emails, responding to people. It's very, very important. Don't lose sight of it.
And that's interesting because I work with the technology internship program with Christine, and we speak with a lot of the employers that hire our engineers, our iTech students, and our computer science students. and we ask them the same question, and their answer is like yours, Hussein, where they say the technical skills are important, but you can learn a lot of that. It's the communication skills that they find the most valuable. So they mirror what you just said.
I just want to add something to you guys. The place I work with, my job is in vendor relationship and client relationship management. My job is 60% non-technical. So in other words, I have to take the technical solution and present it to a business person, or I have to look vice versa, take their requirements and present it to them, among other factors. So the most important aspect is how do I make that clear to them, that I have to understand their interest, my interest, and the company's overall, and present a solution that fits everyone, including the process the company currently is running. And one thing my manager told me the day he hired me, I think it's a casual conversation, he looked at me and says, I can teach you everything, but I cannot teach you how to be with people. And I never forgot that. And that has been always the case throughout my career. They hire you based on your enthusiasm, because you like to do the job when you're young, when you come out of school. That's a primary motive for a manager to hire you, because you're young. You want to do the work, they hire you. As you progress, that will be less of a primary factor. It will be more secondary. They want to look at you saying, can you communicate with this guy? Can you take it over to this guy? Can you make this? Can you influence? These are the skills that you need to have in order to succeed in your job. Unless you want to work in a lab, that's a different story. Okay.
So folks, just to further on what something Hussein just said. So when you're working, right, what happens is big organizations are essentially split up in like 2-3 different silos. So one of them is the IT world, one of them is the marketing world, one of them is the finance world. So you split them up. So what happens is at the end of the day, when you're working, you're managing all of these 3 different paradigms. You're managing these cross-functional teams. So you need to be able to communicate with those guys. So when you're at York, do be cognizant of this. Do take courses in marketing, in finance, in ADMS 1000, like stuff that is essentially unrelated to you. Take up courses in technical writing. People in computer science essentially just never bother with that. Do take up these courses. These are really important. I cannot stress enough how it's really important that you become really good at Java programming. That's the key. Without it, you're not going to get a job. But you got to learn technical writing. You got to learn marketing courses. You got to study some psych. Take courses in like a wide discipline of academic courses that are being offered. Just indulge in all of those. You're going to learn something out of it.
Yeah, I would also say, I would like to emphasize the communication skills and soft skills that my co-panelists have been talking about, but also don't take things just because you think they'll look good to an employer. Take things that you're actually interested in. Like for me, for computer science, there was how many credits of electives that you could take, and York does offer a lot of different introductory courses from different faculties, so you can really explore what you want. And I've actually been on the hiring teams for getting in new students onto our team, and I could say that we definitely do look a lot at soft skills. And what we're not necessarily looking for people that have the best programming skills of the crop, but what they're essentially looking for is problem solving and creativity and the ability to learn. So I think that if you have taken a lot of different courses, a lot of different areas, and you seem to have, pretty decent marks, you can impress the employer or the interviewer with your conversational skills or some interesting projects, I think that would go a long way.
Great, thank you. And I know Ali mentioned a little bit about networking and recommending that as something to do now. Any thoughts from the panelists on, besides student organizations, what they could be doing maybe outside of the university now to network? Because I know everybody always says network, 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 and I think sometimes students are wondering, well, how do I do that? Networking with people outside of the university. Any suggestions on that?
My suggestion again is don't network for the sake of networking. Like whenever there's a networking event at work, it's like, well, I'm just going to go and stand there and just randomly talk to people. But something like this, it's like a natural setting for networking. Like I will know like my co-panelists by the end of it. In getting involved in different clubs or events like this, something where it's easy and natural to meet new people and it's relevant to what you're trying to accomplish.
Good point. Something natural.
Yeah, so something that comes really naturally is your classes and the professors in them. Just talk to your professors. Talk to them just to get them to know you, hang out with them, take them out for coffee. Get to know them. They know people who are in the industry right now. They know people who are working at TELUS, IBM, Rogers, and all these big Googles and all these companies in the world. Your professors know them. So that when you're in university, I guess that's the first entry point that you should be talking to your professors and those guys. Then talk to the folks amongst you. Because what happens is once you grow in age and once you graduate school, what happens is your fellows and your colleagues in school, your peers in school end up being software engineers, managers, directors, and everyone. So that's your network base. It starts from your classroom, from the folks that are sitting around you, and it goes into those VPs and CEOs, those offices. So you start today, you start talking to people around you, play sports with them, you talk to them, like hang out with them at Vanier College or whatever you guys do. Just talk to people, and then you'll see that as you grow with time, like 5 years, 10 years down the line, you'll see that that guy you used to hang out with is now a software developer somewhere, is an engineer somewhere. So that's how you should start.
Eugene, did you have any thoughts on networking?
Yeah, I can adapt, like I totally agree with Hanya that it is absolutely important to do some form of networking. Well, I would recommend you rather than just doing the network, build your coalitions, build your alliances. For example, you have a coalition for somebody who is keen on business, for somebody with whom you can exchange some of the ideas about technology. Because there is a shift from information technology, the way it used to be in past, to business technology. When you look at the current job market, there are less and less of pure development positions. There are a lot more of the architect positions, business architect, technical architect, and so on. So for you to be very confident in your first position, you need to also be familiar with project management methodology or several ones of them that a given place employs. Know what are the roles within the IT, and also know what are the information exchanges between members of each role. So even though you're a developer, it will be beneficial, for example, to know what kind of inputs and outputs are between business analysts and quality assurance engineers, and so on. Once you know these information flows, you know where to find information. After that, you know what to do with the information, and you're on to solid and good start. I'd also encourage you to be different, because find out what are the boundaries that you can take risks within, and don't be afraid to take them, because it's, difference equals risk equals reward. So the more chances you take, because you don't even have to be better than anybody else. You just need to be different, and you'll be better off.
Thank you. Hussein, any thoughts on networking?
Well, I think it has already been said. I'm assuming you probably in your private lives you already do anything outside. We do something outside school. Maybe some of you guys are engaged in affiliated with your churches, mosques. Some of you with political parties. These are places where you meet people and people who think alike, and that's the reason you are in that organization. So it's a very good starting point to be there. The fact is that you have passion and you're putting some time that is outside your work and school, and you attend to the business of these organizations. So that's a good starting point for you guys. You can go in there and just apply yourself. And it's not about just knowing. People won't necessarily come forward and say, I do something for you. They will do it because they see maybe you're passionate. They see that you have a lot of, charisma, or you're contributing simply to their organization. So people do it once they see something from you, but don't have necessarily the expectation the first thing that you join an organization there will be a reward or return on it. It's not the case usually.
Well, I guess I would like more of my time to actually be on programming. As it is, it might be like 2 or 3 hours a day maximum. There are a lot of meetings that happen when the organization is larger. So sometimes you'll have like 4 hours of meetings per day, and there really isn't that much time to do program. And then there's a lot of design discussions, like how are we actually going to implement it, like this is going to be the architecture. So it is computer science, but it's not necessarily like you're coding on your computer. The languages that I use now are mainly Java. Since RTC is Eclipse-based, and Eclipse is all written in Java, so that's mainly what I use. But in my previous job, I was doing more web development, so I think JavaScript, CSS, HTML, JSP, those are the languages that I used.
Yeah, I can start. My most recent engagement was with Deloitte in the role of senior program manager. So the team on the projects for the consulting for various consulting member firms consisted of about 60 people, and they were all virtual. So this is where my previous comment about what is our competitive advantage locally here comes from. So the days are by 3/4 packed with the meetings, and these are any of the meetings to make sure that the team's morale and team's culture is really really going upward. That there are no issues, or that there is adequate amount of focus on various security, performance, architectural issues, and that the decisions are made with all the right players at the table. One of the realities that you'll see as you're progressing further into generalist role, that it's very good to initially in your careers take a very deep dive into the technology and have at least a couple of projects that you will participate through from the beginning to the end. This gives you the ability to roll up your sleeves anytime you see the issue and go as deep into the technology when it is needed. Also, keeping skills diverse helped me very much. Having some knowledge of .NET technologies, of Java technologies, pretty much everything and everything in between, and also having another set of experiences with various industries, because even development style, even coding style guides, all of those may be different between companies in various sectors depending on the business appetite for the change, for the risk, and so on. And do keep in mind that it's the business that drives any of the technology. So it's always good to ask yourself the question, how does a given piece of code, how does a given module contribute to the business? Will it increase sales? Will it grow companies' reputability, and so on? Like, how does my work benefits the project, the program, the business unit, and so on? By keeping in mind these things, you will later on be able to, when you're writing your resume, you will be able to say, well, did this, and this was the big picture outcome of every single one of your things. Another thing I would encourage you is, as you're working on sometimes very many projects initially, do make sure that you have a cheat sheet somewhere where you write all the things that you have worked on, because then when you'll need to go back, and accurate inventory of all of this will help you very much as well.
Okay. And so would you say majority of your day or a good part of your day is meetings and project management?
Yes, there is a good saying, you're good at what you spend most of your time in. So you want to be good with technology, spend some extra time after work, like maybe at night, learn and get at least some familiarity with all the technologies there. So of course it's impossible to know everything, but a good answer when somebody asks you on the interview, have you worked with this and this? You can say no, but at least I'm familiar with this or this technology.
Okay, great, thank you. Hossein, how about you? What is your day-to-day like?
Well, usually I go to the office, and the first thing is I look for my colleagues, or they come to my desk, and we grab a cup of coffee together. That's the usual case, unless the phone rings and saying something is melting. So then we usually have our own calls, or we attend jointly the calls depending on the calls. We try as much as possible to hang out together for collaboration. Probably our best thoughts or best solutions come when we have lunch together, or we are on a coffee and we discuss. And most of the time you need to vent. Sometimes something is really bugging you, and you reach out to your colleague, say, do you know the person X? Can you do something? Can you talk to this guy for me? And that's the way it gets done. You know, it's not a one-man shop, and your team dynamic will differ from organization to organization. But it very much depends on you, how you are. Do you like to hang out with people, or do you like to sit in the corner and not say anything? Are you a helpful person, or you're not a helpful person? That makes quite a bit of difference. So you can make your work really pleasant. So that's what I try to make for most of my time.
Great,
So-
thank you. Ali?
For me, my job is really split into 4 sections here. So first is the operations. I spend like 30-40% of my time on operations. I spend so that's firefighting. So that's issues on web browsing if people have, if there are any like known issues, if we're solving some problems on the network side. So I manage mobile web browsing. So there are all kinds of network elements in the TELUS network path that are involved when something goes down, something goes wrong. So that's the firefighting part. So that's what I spend about 30-35% of my time. This is ad hoc stuff, happens for the first time. and we start working on it. I manage like a bunch of cross-functional teams, and I get them to run traces. I got engineers, I got IT people working with me, and we essentially try to isolate and determine the problems and essentially rectify it. Or my office is also responsible for policy enforcement on such certain browsing issues. So that's the operations part. The second part that I do is about 30% is product management. So that's where I drive the strategies and roadmaps of my products and my portfolios and determine what it's going to look like in the next 5, 10 years, even 15 years at times. The third thing that I do is purely the strategy part. So this is where you sit down with like high level executives, your VPs, your directors, you give them roadmaps of your products, where it's going next quarter, this usually goes 4 quarters from today, so from this quarter and then 3 quarters into next year. So that's usually how the road mapping happens. And last but not the least, it's 10-15% of my time is people management. So I have a team of 1 person who reports into me right now, and I manage them. And that's essentially mentorship, grooming, coaching, and just essentially preparing them for their next step, really. Yeah, thank you.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, so usually I start my day by checking my email, and then every morning we have a scrum, so we're doing this agile development method, which is no longer the waterfall that we learned, at least when I was in school. So we have like a short 15-minute scrum every day. Everybody says what they're working on, what they plan to do, if there's any blockers. Then you go off and like do a little bit of coding or reply to email. Then there'll usually be another meeting or 2, like during the course of the day. And then in the course of actually doing your own coding, you might run into problems. So you'll instant message with your colleagues, like, do you have an idea about this? Or I might need this from somebody needs something from me. You do some research for problems that you might run into. And then there's also maybe a meeting for something that's completely extracurricular. So for example, right now I'm participating in organizing an event for CASCON, which is a yearly conference that IBM hosts with other universities, which I encourage you all to sign up for. It's like a great networking opportunity, and it's free.
Could you just repeat that? CASCON?
CASCON.
CASCON.
Yeah, it happens every year. And I'm helping to organize a hackathon that we're doing for that. So there'll be like a meeting, something, or Toastmasters. There's also Toastmasters that we have every week. So there'll be something that's not necessarily work related, like per se. And then, you know, the same things, just repeating throughout the day, talking to people, coding, email, stuff like that.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sounds like.
So that's an interesting question, absolutely. So this is how it works. It never pays to be far ahead in the technology. So if say Ericsson is launching a new software suite called Ericsson 5.0, that's the latest and greatest in their inventory. We don't want to use that. We want to use 4.9. So what we do usually is we're very up to date. All the IT industry and everybody, we're always up to date. But it never pays to be ahead of the technology. You want to stay right at the cusp of innovation. You don't want to go far ahead, because then you have buggy softwares, you have beta issues, you have beta versions, and then you have problematic stuff coming into you. You don't want that. So long and short in your question, yes, we usually run all the tools, all the software suites are very up to date. The company spends millions and millions, if not billions of dollars on these things, but they tend not to go overboard with it. They don't tend to go for the 5.1 when 5.0 just released. They tend to stick around 5.0, 4.9, 4.8.
So frequently you will find that decisions are made in favor of a technology which at least had one major service pack released, because without it, especially Microsoft technologies are not that stable in out of the box when it just launches out. The other thing that in various companies does play a role is things that is called technology acquisition guidelines. For example, CIBC has a list of specific products where, unless products are on this list, projects are not authorized to use any one of these tools, or they need to follow like a heavy and complex exemption process. On your day-to-day basis, there may also be things like technology acquisition guides that limit, for example, the use of the most fancy integrated development environment that you can get your hands on. So here again, you need to bridge the gap between reality that you see at work for very specific reasons. For example, for a given company not to be more hack-proof, and the need to utilize more up-to-date technology to solve the given business need.
Thank you.
Just one last thought on that point here. So companies tend to usually, good companies at least, like IBM's and those solid players, right? They tend to believe in quality over velocity. So that also helps us sort of keep in check that we want to run with the firmwares that have a few service packs released. Just on Eugene's point.
Yeah, just one thing about that is that I think at IBM we use a lot of IBM software. So in that case, there's open betas and stuff that you know, whoever wants to be part of, they can definitely take advantage of it because it's easy to reach the team that's developing it. It's something wrong, and then it's like an organization of more than 300,000 people. It's like free testing for everybody. So for IBM software, I think we tend to use the latest, but for software by other parties, we tend to wait a while.
Point. Hossein, did you want to add anything?
I just wanted, for your awareness, just on the panel here, just to bring to your attention the difference in technology. So where I work is the bank. So the bank is a technology user. So they tend to be very risk averse towards new technology. Telcos are technology integrators. So they are less risk averse. However, they have to go with it. And if they can avoid the investment, they will. Because simply it's a matter of rate of return. IBM develops brand new technology. So they will be always ahead of the curve. So when you ask the question whether you're always up to date, the question is very much there. What kind of organization are you? And based on that organization, usually the reply will come back yes or nay, depending. So because it's a real investment. So I just wanted to make an awareness for you.
I just kind of wanted to make sure that, you know, that it's always comfortable to work with kind of thing, right?
If you are a technology savvy individual and you're just coming out and you like to play with it, and if you're really on the edge of wanting to find out how new technology works, it's always the better bet for you to work for a technology company than someone who uses technology like a bank. It's because simply that's what they do. That's the main business. So the question you would ask is this company's main business technology or some other thing and they use technology as an enabler? IBM is not an enabler. They produce that technology, right? Bank is leveraging it.
One more point to add to Hussein's and Ali's points is you here while at school you have amazing resource which is called Gartner. So if you have never surfed by it, do make sure that you visit it. Gartner is basically an external research company focused on IT strategy and products. What you will find there are many terrific things there, such as, for example, rating of various vendors in 2x2 matrix according to both how visionary they are and according to their ability to execute. There will be another methodology that they have, which is called a hump chart. So initially, as hype cycle. Initially, as hype increases, there is this like, oh wow, this is great, new things such as, for example, .com. Then usually reputation falls down a little bit, but then there is a plateau of stability. So usually, again, depending on which type of company it is, companies will be either on the leading edge or more like looking at the stable solutions in the marketplace. So that would be the choice of the technology as well.
Sorry, Eugene, can you repeat that resource? Gartner, you
Yes,
said?
Gartner.
G-A-R.
TNER.
Okay, and it's a website.
Yes, when you go to the library, there are a whole bunch of research repositories that you have there. Proxima, ProQuest, all those, Factiva, many resources. Do use them because they make night and day. And when you are out there in the industry, you will not have access to them. And that's the time you realize that they are as essential as they are, pretty much.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so one thing that we have is a Toastmasters Club. That's a club where you can practice public speaking every week or however frequently they want. But at our work, it's once per week. So that's one thing that's available regularly. And then also there's several courses. There's a mentoring program. There's always opportunities to get involved in other things. Like we have every year, there is employees charitable fund. So employees will basically come up with some idea to make money and then donate it to charity. And a lot of times it involves working in teams and just natural ways to build relationships and get soft skills.
Great.
So they're regularly, their courses, this is an ongoing improvement initiative really for companies to build their people's soft skills. Because what happens is once you start progressing in your career, in your organization, your job is about your people. Once you're a director or a VP, you're not programming anything, you're not coding anything, you're just dealing with your people, and the success of your people is your success. That's the success of your portfolio. So it's an ongoing thing. The companies make all the executives, everyone, like whether you're a business analyst or a very high level executive, they make you take courses. They put you in like these team building exercises, team events that essentially promote your soft skills. And New York University also has some similar settings. They have the Frosh Weeks. They have stuff like they have concerts, they have events at York. All of these events are really just to help promote your soft skills, help promote networking for you, really. So yeah, there's never an end to it, right? You just continuously learn.
So just for my clarification, the question is what the company currently has here with the intention of for you to understand if you work for this company, how it will help you, or is it a more generic question? I just wanted to understand it because it's no. So then let me be more generic because I do come from a background where I have to develop soft skills like anybody else, but for me it's much harder because I'm an immigrant and English is not my first tongue. So to let you know, if you want to do something, there's lots of opportunities within the organization, but the trick is to get into the organization and get funding for it. And most of the time, if the organization is under constraint, they won't provide you the funding, especially for soft skills, because for them it's harder to justify to send someone for training. Now that depends on your manager really how that happens. But assume that doesn't work and you need to invest yourself in it. There are courses that you can take. Like for instance, I give you one course, I don't know whether it's equivalent of this is available here. There is a public speaking course and presentation at the University of Toronto's continuing education for about $600. You take that course and it's really hard and helps you, but it's amazing. For myself, I would take sometimes you can find a tutor, someone who can help you with accent. I would take it not to change my accent, just to be more clear. So these are things I would do for myself, and I would invest. I would go work and say, okay, here's $400, let me invest in my future this way. So it is better for you to look at your own alternatives initially than to rely on the company because I'm not sure what the company will offer you. It's hard to get for soft skills because it's very difficult for a manager to justify. Unless the manager is really good and really believes in education and supports you 100%, right? And hopefully you get lucky with some kind of a guy like that.
I would totally agree with Hussein because sometimes companies have a set budget, and when there are budget limitations, training is the first one that gets axed. And the other thing, if you're relying on the growth within the company, this way you're having an average growth. What you want to have is significant relative progress. In other words, tomorrow you are a lot further when you were ahead. Here, another thought for you to keep in mind is that there is a saying, there are two things that change us, books we read and people we meet. So do make sure that you start loading yourself with books same way as you're loading yourself with all of the new technologies that you want to experience. The other thing is make sure that you contact mentors. Find mentors, and then when you have achieved a certain level, make sure that you do give back because, again, give what you seek is the other dominant phrase. You also notice that destiny doesn't let you go after a certain level if you don't offload things and if you don't make other people successful. And again, just surround yourself with books about leadership, for example. Look at the island of at some of your core competencies. For example, not technology, but more like the business and communication. And for every one of these core competencies, read at least couple of books about it. For example, read a couple of books about negotiation. What will be the good approaches for the negotiation? And because then these couple of approaches, along with your personal experience, will make you a very unique combination to handle any situation. Public speaking is definitely the most difficult. Toastmasters could be one way to go. If you don't have the luxury of time or the location, take a video camera, film yourself, review it, prior to this or after this, read some of the tips on how to improve public speaking, how to improve presentation abilities. Focus on understanding what does the word facilitation mean, and it will come sooner or later. And generally, probably the best thing that I have ever done is realized that the best way to improve public speaking is when you know pretty much everything about subject that you're speaking. There are no questions that could derail you or throw you off guard. So experiment with various things, especially in the areas that you don't know that you don't know. Don't be afraid to learn, to try out new things, again, because what you want to be is you want to be faster, smarter, and more dynamic than people who are not in this room. And this way, couple of years down the road, you will be sitting at this table, speaking about your experiences.
I mean, when I was helping to review people's resumes, we didn't care if they were IT or if they were computer science or computer engineering or even other forms of engineering. We really just look at the resume, what kind of projects have you done. It doesn't really matter the degree, I don't think.
But so
Even
my
people
take,
with college diplomas, sorry.
of course. So it's just. So first off, I agree with what he's saying as well. The IT and computer science, there's a certain overlap. But what happens is sometimes you're better off to have a more technical skill set than not. So if I'm hiring someone or if my group is hiring people, we have a deadlock. You have like essentially the same projects, you got the same skill set, and we have someone who's slightly more technical than not. So if maybe a deadlock between finance and marketing, or just using these as an example, not one is better than the other, but just a deadlock between finance and marketing, I might choose the guy who's slightly more technical than the other. It's just as simple as that. It's just preference of the hiring manager. Of course, depends entirely on the role, but so question comes around. I've seen a lot of successful individuals, VPs, CEOs, running like multi-billion-dollar corporations who have no technical degrees ever. But then again, I've seen the flip side as well. We know Steve Jobs is really famous. So all of that, right? So this depends on what role you're looking at. And yeah, I believe technical skill set is usually better off than not.
Can I just give one anecdote though? I think that's probably true, but there actually was a specific case where we had two candidates that were both of them were very good. One of them was stronger technically, one of them was stronger personally, like the soft skills, and the hiring manager's exact words were go for the soft skills. So that's just like the flip side. It does depend on the manager.
I just want to jump in here, having worked with many employers and spoken to them about what they're looking for, both through these panels and through internships. It varies so much depending on the role, like they said, and they're really looking often for a complete picture. So it's not just what degree you had or what university you had, but it's a culmination of your experiences. So I think it's hard to say that one employer is looking for only IT students or only computer science students. They're really overall and generally, of course, you may have one employer who is looking for something specific, but overall employers have said time and time again that they really are looking at a complete picture to see what kind of experiences you've had, what you're learning on your own, what kind of outside experiences you've had, extracurricular experiences, as well as how you present yourself both in a resume and in an interview. So just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. So in past, I did work with one of you guys, Adil. He's sitting in the furthest corner. So Adil can fill in about the specific experiences about how did the interview process go. But I would probably rate the following items in first, most important items first. First one, the most important, is tough character, because it doesn't matter if you know or don't know somebody technically, as long as you can gather the information and learn quickly, because when something will hit the fan, and there are always on any initiative times like that, then it will be up to the character and personality to keep things together, keep things predictable, and make sure that nothing can derail the progress and build an explosion within the team. Second thing that is very important is business acumen, because again, we are moving slowly but very, very steadily from the words information technology to business technology to probably just business sooner or later. And everything, including the set of tools that we use right now, we have to do low-level programming. In past, we had to do probably medium level programming. Now we're doing just high level programming, configure business processes. That's it. Solution is ready. It meets the business needs and so on. So thinking how will automation that happens in future impact or direct your specific guidelines, goals, and steps that you take is very important right now, because sooner or later tens of percentage points will be, so IT staff will be reduced further and further due to the automation. Gartner has another prediction about that. Third thing is diversity of views. Can you offer to the hiring manager, to your leader, to your leaders, a diverse perspective, something that they haven't thought of before, either because for whichever reason, but inside, fresh perspective is what counts the most, especially as sometimes you may be dealing with the newer technologies and that you get a chance to fully study them, as opposed to a company where they may not find their place so much in future. Another item is the ability to learn very quickly. Again, more junior people are looked at to study very quickly, and in reality, what you will see is that in past somebody was looking for just Java developer or .NET developer. Now the need is for a developer, and developer is supposed to fill in the role where any technical issue can be thrown at the developer, and developer would be able to fix it. On top of that, sometimes leaders don't differentiate between development tasks or system integration tasks, and and a developer can get a request, hey, install this and this software or configure this and this product. And last thing is high energy, where some of the things and some of the experience may be not really there. You can definitely compensate with a high level of energy, strong message, and the very much of enthusiasm that will irradiate people around you.
Great, thank you.
First, when you look at outsourcing, there are a couple of trends that are happening there. For example, when you look at Big Four companies, they do compete with each other based on which percentage they have outsourced. Because let's say from a budgeting perspective, developer here could cost between $70 to $100, which is an internal company billing rate. Within let's say India, the same developer could cost between $10 to $20 per hour, and this is many of the account management costs already included there. So there is some very significant financial incentive that I do encourage you to think about how you can compensate. Additionally, you will also see in companies, for example, Direct Energy, that there is a first outsourcing wave, and then sometimes it's past, sometimes projects see that quality is not there, and then there is another subwave of insourcing. You will see various companies outsourcing, bringing back stuff together, and so on. In terms of the contracts, there are two reasons why companies hire contractors. First reason is somebody who has been around in many places in many various industries with the goal to hit the ground running. So when you are a consultant or contractor, you have maybe a day or 2 days before you start performing. Regardless, do you know stuff, you don't know stuff, are there reasonable challenges, are there totally unreasonable challenges? You got to start performing. So you do need to be tough, and you need to be very focused and know what is the area where you can be the most effective. Second area where contractors are hired is at the times when company want to contain the risk. So for example, if it is risky to take full-time employee for the whole duration, then a contract opening may be put in place, for example, for 3 months, just to see how the person is. Because let's face it, companies never fire anybody unless there is a personal conflict. Because there will be a whole bunch of various negative effects and impacts if somebody is being fired, in addition to various lawsuits and so on. So be prepared to the fact that the most difficult thing is in your first or second or whichever job you will have is getting in. After you got in, be open-minded, be flexible, and you will do terrific in any of the positions. Because again, York is a solid school. It does teach the survival abilities better than at least any other school that I know, and you'll be fine from at least core competency perspectives.
No, you're not expected to know everything from the beginning. Actually, when I was originally hired, first of all, I interviewed for technical writer, And then I got an offer for a software engineer. So I thought that was like, what has happened? Is this a mistake or whatever? But then when I got to the job, it was actually mainly testing. So a lot of times it changes, but actually, I guess what I want to say is that, IBM also has something called a connections coach. So when you join, there's somebody assigned to be your mentor that will teach you about it. And then also, like, for me, for testing, that's one of the ways that they are using as training you as well before you actually get into the code. It's a way to familiarize yourself with the product in a way that's also like beneficial to the company. And there's many courses that you can take. Yeah, they don't expect you to know everything.
Absolutely, no one expects you to know anything, and you learn every year on job, every day on the job, every year. So with me, what happened was when they were hiring me, they were looking for someone who fully understood web development, mobile web development, or big web development, and had experience with it. So with that being said, I wasn't thrown in and I didn't start programming CSS style sheets or HTML or all of that cool stuff. But what they did was they wanted me to understand all of these things, and then they trained me on their own software suites. So this is a managed service that Ericsson is running for TELUS. So Ericsson flew in a team from Dallas, and those guys came in and trained me on their software suite. But of course, that was easy. That was just clicks and clicks and clicks, really easy. But I didn't need to fully understand and appreciate what the underlying principles or foundations behind that are. So that's HTML, XHTML. I needed to fully understand that to be able to use the software even. So it's a mix of both. They expect you to know some things, and they want to train you, build you on top.
It actually
Listen, can
depends.
you speak into
Sorry,
the mics?
it depends actually what position you land in and what organization you land. The larger the organization, there's usually a higher chance that you get some kind of a training. Also, when the organization is large, your job is broken down, so you do more specific job rather than something else. So there's more specific to you, and usually you tend to be more stuck with learning the process and how to do something, who to reach out, how to call. If you, for instance, land in a consulting job, the expectations and you as an expert, then you must know the job because people rely on you to teach others. So you must understand that aspect as well, where you land. In smaller organizations, the tendency is that you have to pick up on your own, and they can throw you actually to the wolves and say, go ahead and learn it on the spot. I know for a fact it has happened to other people, and they had to do it. Either you live or you die. So you have some choices to make. And you can ask that question in an interview. It's not a bad question to ask, how does your organization or your group specifically fund for training? They may say, yeah, we have funding, but doesn't mean that you get some.
Okay, thank you.
So let me add a couple of qualifying statements to make the answer easier for you. So when you look at technology-specific training at a given company, for example, I can give an example about TELUS, where I also was, actually TELUS Mobility, where I also was in place. For example, there is J2E. So you have learned, for example, J2E from a technology perspective. There are two other items. So there are three dimensions of learning, of technology learning. First is the technology itself. So syntax of the language, how to use various constructs, and so on. Second is various companies have a set of their own custom components to do various enterprise functions. For example, to open a connection to a message broker, or open or send a message via MQ series, and so on. So there are some of the specific enterprise components or car components that you do need to know. Lastly, there are some of the technology-specific choices that are made on a given project. For example, don't use Java server pages, use EJBs or any mixture of the above. So generally, you'll come with majority of the industry or technology-specific knowledge there. But when you are asking the questions about the specific technology, focus more on the choices that a project team and that the company has made before, because these will be the things that sooner or later will align and meet with your general knowledge of technology, and boom, will resonate with it. The other thing to keep in mind as we're speaking about knowledge, when you come to your interviews, you will have three kinds of questions. First kind of question will be professional questions. So this will be mostly, in the example above, the questions about let's say, your knowledge of the language, syntax, its constructs, inheritance, and so on. You name it, whichever that. Two other groups will be interpersonal questions to see how well you will integrate with the rest of the group. And third group will be personal questions, where you will be asked, well, do you learn quickly? How do you handle stress, and so on. So when you get the question, make sure that you understand which group it belongs to and project the attributes of that group. So for example, if something is a interpersonal question, don't answer with the development language construct.
Okay, great, thank you. Hossein?
Well, I really enjoy waking up in the morning and seeing my colleagues
With the coffee.
with a coffee. I really do. That's a fantastic aspect of it. So, at the same time, the challenges you have also with people when you want to get something done, there's a roadblock or something like that. So, for me, both the challenge and the pleasure is people, and it comes always together. It's never separated.
Great, thank you.
So, well, I'm not a big fan of waking up really early. Neither I'm on coffee first thing in the mornings. And so luckily, I do have flex hours. I get to work from home a lot. So one of the really good things about my office, I get to work from home like maybe 2-3 days a week. So it's pretty awesome. What I really like is I manage the cloud service partnership between TELUS, Microsoft, Ericsson, Google. So I work with the best and the greatest in the industry. So I really like working with those folks. Folks that are working in Microsoft, working in TELUS, the directors and those guys are really knowledgeable people. They're really good people to be around and learn from. I manage mobile web, so the gadgetry that comes with it. So I get to play with the latest smartphones that you could, like the ones that are going to come up next year. So I get to play with all the smartphones, all the tablets. I really love that. And yeah, this is a technology-forward industry, right? So we're constantly pushing the envelope. So that's something that I'm really excited about. So the flip side of this, mobile web and cloud services, cloud partnerships, this is all unprecedented business. So there's so many unknowns in this. We have not done this before, so we're just doing it now. And it's a challenge to essentially learn and understand what we're up to, even for us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I think I will just reiterate that my favorite thing is that I do like the team that I work with, my department. I think it's a great group, and I'm happy to be in it. And then also, I feel like IBM is a nice place to be. I like working for a socially responsible company, and I think the worst thing is the meetings, the frequency and the length. Yep.
Okay, great, thank you.